Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and today we got some Mini GT Kaido House BBR for you. We got all of it. So this is actually a really good representation, I would say, of TSM model, of TSM in 164 scale or 164-ish scale. We got the Kaido House models there. So kind of a really good representation of a lot of the cool things that they do. And you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I love Mini GT. Mini GT is fantastic. BBR is really good too, and I believe all those models are developed by TSM. So same company, you know, essentially that develops the Mini GT models. I'm pretty sure that's the case. If I'm wrong, you guys let me know in the comments. But the whole philosophy, how they're put together, is very similar anyway. So even if they are two different companies or whatever it is, they're similar enough that we can include them in a video together. We've got some really cool stuff to show you today, and I guess let's just dive right into it. What should we start with? So we've got, like I said, a very good representation of some models. I've got some behind here too. We got roughly, what do we got, 5, 10, we got like 12 models we're going to look at. Okay, so there's some behind these that we'll look at in a second. I think what we should actually start with, let's start with the Liberty Walk models. I've got two. So we've got this one here, which of course is going to be a fan favorite. This is the Nissan LBER34 Super Silhouette Skyline in red and black. This is in a blister pack. So TSM model, like I said on the back. Of course, this is licensed. All TSM model stuff is licensed and quite detailed and quite awesome. If you're not familiar with Mini GT, I mean, where have you been? And second, if you are familiar with Mini GT and you have yet to add one to your collection, let's just say you're just a Hot Wheels collector, or let's just say Hot Wheels collector. I don't think there's many people that collect just Matchbox these days, unless it's the vintage stuff. But let's just say you're a Hot Wheels collector and you haven't branched out into other diecast models. You need to branch out in a Mini GT. Like, that is the one. If you're going to decide to get to really detailed models, there's Auto World 2, that's fantastic. Of course, Auto World Johnny Lightning, there's Green Light, and then like Mini GT. Really highly recommended. So these come either carded or just in a box like this, because I've got boxes over there that just came in a box. Here's the box. The box, of course, and I know most of you know this, but we're going to demonstrate anyway, comes with a storage solution built right in. You got the box, you got a clamshell for the car, you can put the car into the clamshell, or the little insert, and then slide it into the box, close it up, and you can store your model just like that, protected, which is great, which is fantastic. I love, 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 love that solution that is built into Mini GT models. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this back in there. So you got the best of both worlds with this carded packaging. So basically you get to see the car, obviously, in the carded blister pack, if you want to keep it like that, if you're a carded collector. And if you're not, you're a loose card collector, you have a storage solution immediately, which is perfection, right? The only thing is it's not like an acrylic display case, so you can't see the car inside the box, but that really doesn't bother me at all. These are great. All right, love it. So here is our Liberty Walk R34 Nissan Skyline. Pretty sweet. So Mini GT models are pretty much always going to be metal body, metal base. They're pretty much always going to roll really well. So if rolling is a factor to you, a lot of the more premium diecast models, they don't really care about rolling. They're more of a static display sometimes. Mini GT is not the case. They achieve that stance while maintaining rollability, which, oh geez, I almost just had a disaster. All right, anyway, trying to get close to the camera here so you can see the detail up front. We got inserted details for headlights that look really good. In general, too, I know I always say this, and then we find one with a quality issue, right? But there is a very low amount of quality issues with Mini GT, at least in my models that I have. I've gotten very, very many. I'm probably over 200 now, and very, very few have come with an issue. So this one looks really good, and of course this is the same. Hot Wheels made this car as well. It was very popular, so undoubtedly this is going to be a popular Mini GT model. If you're a fan of Liberty Walk, you will definitely like this Skyline. So very, very awesome. This GTR is really cool, really detailed, and zero complaints that I have about it. I think it's really awesome. So let's go ahead and just set it right here on top of its box, and let's grab, oops, knocking stuff over. Let's grab the other model here. All right, so the other model is this Liberty Walk in collaboration with Abarth Works. I have no idea. Abarth 595 in Garrett White. So this is a Fiat, right? A Fiat 500 or something, or Fiat something. Normally I would not be into a Fiat at all. It is a Abarth official licensed product, which is kind of interesting. And of course it's the Liberty Walk body kit. Card art's kind of cool. We're going to go ahead and open it up with our skizzers, and we will check it out. So the other cool thing about Mini GT is they put out a ton of good models every year. Like there are steady releases. Like every month there's like new stuff to collect. And I don't buy all of it, right? Because that would be crazy. They put out a lot of models. So I don't need a complete collection as much as it would be really cool to have one. But very, very cool. The other thing is typically with the Mini GT, they're not going to have any opening features. So some of you may not like that fact, but I love that they don't have opening features. Just making sure this one doesn't open. Because that means they're panel lines, there's no panel gap issues, there's less that can go wrong, right? What a cute little car. So again, detail. By the way, the graphics on Mini GT models are always going to be like Tampo style printing, like, so they're sharp. They're not, you don't get dot matrixy stuff like you do with like premium Hot Wheels, and they're not, you don't see decal outlines either like you do with some other models, like some Spark models. I'm trying to think of some other ones. In 64, I think sometimes use some decals, so does Tarmac. So you don't have any of that. Plus, again, it rolls. So really, honestly, like Mini GT is, I would say, very hard to compete with. The price point is pretty good on these models too, so very hard to compete with. Very, very cool. If you're a US muscle car collector, that's where their biggest gap is going to be. They don't have really much for that. They've got some like newer Mustangs and stuff, but like not there's going to be a big gap there. For that, you're going to want to go to like Auto World, Johnny Lightning, Greenlight, like those brands. You know, if you're a U.S. muscle car type of collector, of course, and you want something somewhat premium, you want to go to those brands really for that stuff. Mini GT is not really there yet. I don't know if they have plans. They might have plans to put out more models that are like that, but I don't know. But another Liberty Walk. So they have the Liberty Walk licensing. Very, very cool. So we'll check that out. We'll set that one right there. I dig that model quite a bit. There's lens details, by the way. Always inserted details for headlights and taillights too. That look pretty good. Just a great mix of the amount of detail. Like it's the right amount of detail, I think, for 1/64 scale. You guys could disagree with me, and that's fine. But let's get into Kaido House. So much like Liberty Walk, these are body kit cars, right? But they are Junimai brainchild vehicles. This is a Honda Civic EF Kaido Works V2. Kind of funny we get this in red, when the red edition Civics are pretty popular right now from Hot Wheels. But man, what a beautiful. So these are not going to be in 1/64 scale exactly, and that will turn some people off, and I totally get it. But these are little works of art, and I really enjoy them actually. It's the Kaido House stuff. So this, you're going to get a little bit more detail. They're as far as they do typically have an opening feature. This one's got an opening hood with detailed engine. All the other details of Mini GT. I believe the rims are actually like an alloy metal. on these cars. They're not plastic, which is kind of a cool touch. And then you get all this detail inside the car, roll cage, all that good stuff. So in general, looks good. And then that signature kind of like heated metal look for the base of the car. And then again, they all roll. So the only turnoff to these that I could see is that they're not 1/64 scale. They're all kind of around the same size. So it's kind of a Hot Wheels approach, being that Junimai is the creator of this and was a Hot Wheels designer, right? Before he decided to start his own brand and collab with Mini GT to make his Kaido House models. So these models are really cool. These models also have chases. Some of the Mini GT stuff has chases too. I think typically the Miho exclusive ones, we don't really need to get into that. I'm not going to find any chases in these boxes because I bought these from Jay, my buddy. He buys multiples of these models trying to get chases. And then typically will give me a decent deal on taking one or two off of his hands. So this is a newer casting. This is a Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR Kaido Works version 1. And this one, you know, we get the Hakosuka Skyline, which is like my favorite. And again, Kaido House. They come in these nice packages. Very similar to the BBR stuff we're going to look at. But here is this new casting from Junimai. And if you don't like these particular color combinations or graphic combinations on these particular cars, he does put out quite a bit of different ones. This we're going to have to push the hood open from the inside, I think. That's the easiest way to probably get it open. Usually it leaves like holes there. You can see some detail right there. And I think if we go poke in here, or maybe I can just get it open without doing that because I don't think that's long enough. Give it an old knock on the knuckle. We really got to get this open. It opens backwards, right? Or whatever. I think it does. I might have to get something to open this with. Oh, here we go. A little screwdriver. And we should be able to just push, I believe, to get this open. There we go. There it is. And we can take a look at the detailed engine. Kind of hard to get a good peek at it, but there it is. So very cool. So nicely detailed, nicely done, and again, rolls quite well. We get lots of details, and it's quite awesome. So I'm digging this casting. This is the first color combo that it's come out in, so I got it in this. I'd like to get possibly another one too. I know they have a plain red one that I think I probably should get. Excuse me. I think Jay's got it available too, so I probably should just get one from him. We'll see. I'm going to set it over here. Set this. Oh, we got one more to go. This BMW M3 Kaido GT version 1. This is a pretty car too. Kaido House, BMW. Most of his stuff has been like Nissan, Datsun kind of stuff, but he has ventured out a bit. Got some Hondas. There's a Honda NSX. There's really cool cars. And you can tell it's just like June's take on the car. It's like if he was given an unlimited budget with Hot Wheels, kind of what he would have done is almost like you can view it like that. And to sell these for more expensive. So these typically go for almost $20 a model. So they are more expensive than regular Mini GT. Mini GTs you can find for typically somewhere between $10 and $15 a model. So these are a little bit more expensive. And they do have the opening hood. They have a little bit more detail, stuff like that. But they're not to scale. So again, that could be a turnoff for you. And I totally get it. I do kind of wish that these were actually 1/64 scale. But very cool. Like I said, they are just little pieces of art, right? Their automotive artwork is really what I would call this little thing. It's a 3D model of sort of a fantasy car, a fantasy version of a car, a fantasy body kit. Like this body kit doesn't technically exist exactly like it is here, shown here. So, but this is a beautiful model. I really enjoy it. I do collect Kaido House. I don't buy everything, again, just like Mini GT. It would be crazy. They have some extremely limited models that are hard to get a hold of. So I'm not purchasing all that stuff, but I do get a nice little sampling to add to the collection, and that is a pretty little model, I think. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, below. We're going to open up BBR last. I think what we're going to do next is let's do some supercars. We've got this Bugatti EB110 Supersport in Gaio Bugatti, which is a yellow. This one, let's get a little blade here to cut. So this is how some of the packaging will come when you order some stuff. Typically overseas, packaging is going to be like this, where it's not going to be a blister pack, so you just get the box, which is cool because I open up everything anyway. So if you can find these cheaper than the blister pack ones, then I would go for those if you're a loose car collector. But let's check out this Bugatti. This is a really cool casting. I've got a few versions of this now. They do the Super Sport, they do the regular, which has different rims, different wheels, but this is a nice one for sure in yellow. Ooh, it's like a sparkly yellow. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was metal flake. That's pretty cool. Again, inserted details for the taillights, lots of detail, engine detail under there. No opening features on this one. Plain black base. That's the other thing. I do wish, they did put the model of the car there. I know sometimes that's not there. And again, it rolls. So if you want to play with this across your desk or something during a conference call, I wouldn't blame you, right? You could do that. Very, very cool. So I really like this model too. It's very, very nice. It looks really good in yellow. I almost didn't get this in yellow, but decided to go ahead and grab it. I've got this car, I want to say I've got 3 other versions of it. Possibly even 4. I think 4 actually. I got a blue one, I got a silver one, I got a red one or a maroon one, and then another blue one. So I got the blue like Super Sport and the blue regular EB110. And the only real, I think there's a couple cosmetic differences, but I don't know. Very, very cool. Digging that one. And then I got one more like supercar here. We've got the Lamborghini Countach LPI 800-4 in Viola 30th anniversary, I guess, color. I'm going to go ahead and cut it open. This is a beautiful color for this car, actually. I would love to get a Diablo in this color. I think would be awesome if they put that out. I really hope Mini GT does the Diablo. I know they're going to do the Countach. I'm pretty sure they're doing the Countach. Just the older Countach, right? One of them. I don't remember which one. I think it's the 5000 Quattro Vival, blah, blah, blah. I think it is, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. I know they've shown a lot of like 3D print, first shots or whatever of some of these models. Some of the stuff that's coming out. There's like so much cool stuff, like so much amazing stuff coming out. So very neat, very cool. But here we go. We got this Countach LPI 800-4. Purple. It's purple. Violet. And it looks quite nice. So again, inserted details, taillights, headlights, engine detail underneath there. Very, very cool, right? And of course, it rolls. Ooh. Almost had an accident. All right, so very, very awesome. Very much like indeed. We got to keep moving, though. We got some more models to go through. So there's your Countach. I know that's not really for everyone, but I dig it. All right. Next model. This is brand new. This is a brand new casting. This is the Volkswagen ID Buzz in the prototype rainbow. So they are coming out with this in like a normal color, and I probably will get it, but I had to get this one because it's the prototype rainbow color. This Volkswagen. So really cool that they decided to do the ID Buzz. I think that's pretty neat that they decided to do this van. So they do some weird stuff like this, right? They don't do a lot of bland cars, barely any bland cars, like everyday driver kind of things. They don't do very much of that. Again, you can go to like Greenlight as a good representation of that. Some Auto World, some Johnny Lightning, stuff like that. Some other Asian brands too. and do some stuff like that. But look at this thing. Very cool. Kind of can create your own little automotive kind of history museum with diecast, which is really, really neat. And that's why I just love these detailed models, these, you know, very detailed models. I like Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels has a place in my heart and always will, you know, but the premium detailed stuff is just really, for me, what I love the most. So this is a really cool model. I definitely want it in just a normal color for sure, or a standard like factory color. I think is going to be really cool as well. All right, now we get into some racing. Now, I've got only 2 types of race cars here, but they have all sorts. They do IMSA, well, that's an IMSA, but they do like GTD Pro cars. They do, of course, the prototype cars. They do some F1 cars. They do some classic F1 cars. They do some, like, there's all sorts of stuff, right? They do a lot of different race cars. They do rally cars. So I don't have a perfect representation here today, but we do have an F1 car and we do have an IMSA from Sebring 12 Hours car. So we're going to go ahead and open up this F1 car first. So this is Red Bull RB16B number 33, 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix winner Max Verstappen. So let's pop that open and take a look. So these are really cool. They're done, of course, to scale. Check that out. Super cool. So I have a few different of the F1 cars. I don't buy all of them. But with Hot Wheels doing F1 now, these are kind of hot. And it's a Honda. So with these, they are pretty lightweight. The base on this one is actually plastic. The body part, the main body of the car, is metal, and then this front wing is plastic. This is plastic. Of course, the tires are rubber, and of course it rolls. And this one's actually got Max in there. Check that out. Some of them come with a driver, and some of them come driverless. So you can kind of check out, look what they get. You don't need to buy a whole collection F1. Maybe you do. Maybe you need a whole starting grid. I don't know. But they don't have every sponsor type car or every team represented. I don't know if they have the licensing for everything, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so you definitely want to check those out. If you're into F1, these are great F1 replicas. They do a fantastic job. Again, there's a lot of detail in these, but not like too much where it feels like extremely fragile. So that's kind of nice. I like that. It's kind of it's like really in the sweet spot, right? So very, very cool F1 car. But I'm more excited, honestly, about, we're going to set that one back there, about this. This is an IMSA Lamborghini SC63, number 63, 2024. IMSA Sebring 12 Hours Iron Lynx. Very cool. Now, they have a few of these cars out. There's a Cadillac. There's, what else is there? There's a few of them. You just have to look it up. And I've got quite a few in my collection. They don't have enough, I don't think, for a full starting grid, but they're getting there. But check out this Lambo. That is pretty awesome. And again, the detail. It's all there. It's all there. And it looks so good. Very well done. And again, it rolls. It rolls smoothly. It's satisfying. So just very, very good. Very, very well put together. Yeah, I mean, how can you complain about it, really? These are super nice. So I really like this. This really trips my trigger. I enjoy it. I think it's awesome that they have the IMSA license. And of course, they put out a Rexy last year. Roxy's coming out this year. So, you know, those were extremely popular right out of the gate, of course. At the same time, like Hot Wheels put it out. So, just really, really cool to see. I just really like it. It's so good. All right. The rally cars are awesome, too. So, if you can get a rally car from, if you're into that, get those from Mini GT as well. All right. We got two brand new toolings from BBR. And both of these should be pretty cool. We got a Pagani Utopia and we got a Ferrari 812 Competizione. Let's go ahead and open up the Utopia first. Interestingly, the Pagani Utopia has come out from a lot of companies already. I think we've seen what? There's been a Hot Wheels one already. There's been, let's see, there's been a Hot Wheels. There's been, I want to say there's been a Tarmac Works already. There's been some other, I forget what the company was, came out with one that was also licensed. LCD, I think, might have came out with one. There's been a few. There's been a few is what I'm saying. So now we get one that's like basically Mini GT style. Now, BBR models, and I think it'll say blah, 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 visual license product, bbrmodels.it. I'm almost 100% positive these are made by TSM. I don't know that it says it explicitly there, but I remember when BBR was initially announcing doing 1/64 scale, and that I first heard that from TSM model. But look at this. Look at this sassy little number. The box, somewhat similar to the Kaido House, except for it's a slide-out type box. Very nice indeed. Printing is very premium. These are about the same price as Kaido House, so a little bit more than a regular Mini GT. So, pretty well detailed in this color. Interior looks to be very detailed as well. Wheels look to be very detailed. They got the weird thing going on with the rims being different colors. So they got the wheels that are like champagne, and then the wheels that are silver on that side. Clear taillights. It's kind of interesting. I should have got out the other models to compare this to, but this video is already 30 minutes long, or closing in on it, so that would make this video quite a bit longer. A little bit of added detail. They do put the like a sticker on the back side of the mirrors, and these mirrors are actually a stiff plastic. They're not the rubberized kind of mirrors that you typically find on Mini GT, which I usually like those type of mirrors because they're less likely to break off and get damaged. But it rolls. It feels just like a Mini GT. It looks quite good. I mean, zero complaints about this one. It's super cool, really. So you guys let me know what you think about that. But I'm sure more of you are going to be excited about this. So Ferrari has really kind of opened up the floodgates. You know, they're back in Hot Wheels. They stopped this exclusive license stuff. So there's going to be Ferraris coming out, not just from Hot Wheels, right? But like other diecast companies are going to be able to get Ferrari licensing. And honestly, that's great because we're going to see more Ferraris in 1/64 scale. So if you're a fan of Ferrari, it's going to be a good time to collect for you. Because as time goes on, I think more and more stuff will come out. So here is the B12. Not exactly my favorite Ferrari, not the most attractive Ferrari, but really cool to get it. And it's in this sparkly blue color, which is pretty interesting. What's that on the tire? What's this one? We got a Ferrari logo printed on the tire. That's kind of funky. I think that's a logo that's supposed to be put on the side. Like they put that on there, that logo, and we got an extra one on the bottom of the tire. That's not like a real normal detail, is it? Look, there's a little Ferrari logo right there, too. It's like these little logos are like glued onto the side of the car. They're not like printed on. Weird. Look at that, though. That's funny. All right. Anyway, rolls super well. Hard plastic mirrors. Looks to be very detailed on the inside, although it's kind of hard to see. Again, I'm not a huge fan of blue Ferraris. There's a couple that look really cool in blue. You know, red's really the appropriate color. I think they put out this car in one other color, and for some reason I picked this one. I don't remember exactly why. They did not do a good job, by the way. So when they took the picture for the actual packaging, it looks like the wheels are kind of sunk into the wheel well. And I didn't like that, and that's what I almost didn't buy it, because I'm like, because a real car looks like that, but it doesn't. It's like you can get it to look like that if you go like that, but anyway, nicely done. Very, very good. Not disappointed at all. Happy with these. I'm happy with all these cars, so pretty darn awesome. So again, 30 minutes. All right, we got to cut this out. But yeah, this will be in the premium/import diecast playlist, which is enjoyable because it's got all sorts of detailed car content on that. Just some fantastic stuff, some obscure stuff, some stuff from some very well-known brands like Mini GT, but there's a lot there to look at. So check that out when you get the chance, and see more videos like this. Let me know, of course, in the comments down below, how many cars did we have? 15? 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 cars. Out of the 12, how many would you cop? How many would you pick up for yourself? Let me know. I'm always interested in that kind of data. So thank you guys very much. Have a good day.